The world of the sheer-face clan is a vertical one, carved from ochre sandstone in immense voids, for generations beyond counting. Their existence has been painted on the walls of the Great Chasm, a civilization of ledges, rope bridges, and cave mouths connected by courage and calloused hands. Below, a silver river, a source of life and danger, snakes through the canyon floor. Above, the sky, a terrifying, boundless ceiling ruled by gods. The clan does not worship these gods with love, but with the profound, instinctual fear an art holds for a boot. They are the great Azhdarchids, the Quetzalcoatlus, whose shadows are mobile eclipses and whose cries are the sound of rock slides. Their gargantuan forms soar on thermal updraft. Masters of this vertical kingdom, the relationship has always been one of accepted terror. The clan is insignificant, and the sky gods hunt the giant fish and land-minus beasts that roam the canyon floor. They're colossal, spear-minus-like beaks plucking prey from the riverbanks. The humans are merely the cliff-minus swallows, flitting between the gods' feet, too small to notice, too troublesome to hunt, until now. The new one is different. It is smaller, a juvenile by the measure of the true titans that nest on the highest, sun-minus scorched spires. An outcast, its crest is scarred, one side jagged and broken. This imperfection marks it, and its desperation makes it profane. It does not soar with the effortless grace of its kin. It patrols with a frantic, hungry energy. The unwritten truce, the covenant of insignificance that has governed all of hominid history in this chasm, is broken. It begins with Eleanor's boy, Tenno, snatched from the guano miners collecting ledges, not by accident, not as collateral damage. It was a hunt. The shadow fell, a deliberate, focused darkness, and the leathery snap of wings was the last sound before the boy's scream was cut short. The clan watched, frozen in a horror that was sickeningly new. They were no longer ants. They were food. The attacks become a rhythm of terror. The outcast learns their pathways, the times they move between the high caves and the lower mushroom ledges. Its silhouette against the searing sky is a constant, circling threat. Its character no US beat, a battering ram of bone and horn, probes the netting they hang over their cave mouths. It cannot enter, but its presence straps them. Thirst becomes a real danger. The rope-and pulley systems used to haul water from the chasm floor are now suicide lines. Young Owen, brave and foolish, makes a dash for the systems during what he thinks is a lull. The outcast drops from the sky like a thrown spear, its massive head striking him from the cliff face. His fall is silent and long. This pterosaur is not just a beast. It is an intelligent, relentless siege engine. The elders gather in the great carved hall, their faces etched with a fear that threatens to turn to despair. They speak of offending the sky spirits, of insufficient offerings. They demand rituals, chants, sacrifice. But the younger hunters, their eyes hollowed by Simpson's underage, see not a god, but a predator. They watch its flight patterns, noting how it uses its short, almost vestigial tail, a mere stub of a PYGO style, to make impossibly sharp turns within the canyon's confines. They are witnessing the brutal mechanics of their own extinction, and a blasphemous thought begins to take root in the fertile soil of their desperation. A god that hunts them is a god that can be hunted in return. The blasphemous thought finds its voice in Kale. He is not a chief, merely a hunter whose gaze lingers longer than most, whose hands are as skilled at flaking flint as they are at reading the scars on the cliff face. He stands before the elders in the great carved hall, the smoke of the dung-fire twisting around him like troubled spirits. It is not a god, he says, his voice low but cutting through the murmurs of prayer. It is flesh. It bleeds. I saw it strike the canyon wall chasing Owen. It left blood on the stone. The elders recoil. To speak of a sky god's blood is the highest sacrilege. But the younger hunters, their faces grim. Listen, this is a new kind of thinking. A dangerous and vital step in the evolution of these ancient humans. Kale's foresight is born from observation. He has watched the outcast. He has noted its weakness. In the open sky, it is a monster, but within the tight confines of the side-minus chasms, its immense wingspan becomes a liability. It must slow, must furl its wings slightly, becoming clumsy, vulnerable. His plan is one of terrifying simplicity, a feat of primitive technology born from utter desperation. They will weave a net larger than any ever conceived. From every strand of vine-rope, animal sinew, and braided hide the clan possesses. They will haul it to the top of the serpent's tooth, a narrow slit canyon just wide enough for the outcast to enter, and suspend it over the void. The weights will be an arsenal of osteodontocratic tools, heavy, fossilized dinosaur femurs and sharpened granite boulders, a testament to their survival skills. The plan is met with fury from the elders. "You will bring the wrath of the entire sky down upon us," shrieks old Merv, her face a mask of terror. "You will doom us all for your pride." But Kayla's logic is as sharp and cold as a flint knife. "We are already doomed," he counters, his eyes sweeping across the gaunt faces of his kin. "We starve in our caves while the beast picks us off one by one. I choose to die fighting a monster, not caring for my god." His words ignite the quiet rage of the young. It is an emotional turning point, a schism between the old world of superstition and the new world of brutal pragmatism. The work begins. The clan becomes a single, determined organism. Under the cloak of night, they weave. Hands bleed as they braid thick ropes. The community working in hushed, frantic silence. Others descend to the dangerous canyon floor to retrieve the chosen weight. The bones of long-minus dead giants, hauling the massive, sprawling net up the sheer cliffs is a nightmare of coordinated effort, a vertical ballet of straining muscles and whispered commands. They anchor it to rock spires on either side of the serpent's tooth, a web of defiance spun across the sky. The final, terrible piece of the plan is the bait. It cannot be an animal. The outcast has tasted human flesh and now craves it. A volunteer must stand on the ledge below the net. A living law. Kale does not ask. He takes the position himself. He stands now, alone on a sliver of rock. The vast, empty chasm yawning below him. Above, hidden behind rockfalls. His clan clutches the ropes. He stares east, to where the sun first warms the sky. And then he sees it. A speck, a distant, circling speck that grows with agonizing slowness, resolving into the familiar, dreadful silhouette. The hunt has begun. The outcast dives. It is not a glide but a controlled plummet. A thunderclap of displaced air. The sound of its approach is a tearing shriek of wind rushing over the vast membrane of its brachiopotomica. Kel stands his ground on the ledge, a single, defiant point of life against the stone. The shadow swallows him. The creature's head, larger than a man, lunges forward. The tip of its keratin USB came for his chest. At the last possible moment, he screams the signal. A guttural cry that echoes off the chasm walls, and throws himself flat against the rock. The bows, the clan axe is won. The anchor ropes are severed with frantic chops of flint axes. The great net falls. For a heartbeat, there's only the sound of heavy rope whistling through the air. Then, Dimka, the net, weighted with the bones of ancient monsters, slams onto the Azhdarchid with the force of a rock slide. A scream of shock and fury erupts from the beast, a sound so loud it feels like a physical blow. It is not the cry of a god, but the shriek of a trapped animal. The creature is tangled, its massive wings caught in the sinewy mesh, but it is far from defeated. It thrashes with unimaginable power, slamming its body against the canyon walls. The entire serpent's tooth shudders. Boulders are dislodged, crashing into the chasm below. A young hunter, too, loses his footing as the ledge beneath him crumbles. He falls without a sound, a silent sacrifice to the chaos. The true battle begins. The hunters, tail among them, grapple down their ropes, their spears held tight. They are hornets attacking a bear. The outcast's head is still free. a deadly pendulum on its long, serpentine neck, its beak snapping with the force of a falling tree, shattering stone inches from their bodies. They must be methodical. They must be brave. They stab and slash, not at the thick hide of its back, but at the delicate membranes of its wings, tearing the fragile architecture of its flight. Another hunter, Lyra, swings too close. The beak darts out, impaling her and flinging her body against the far wall like a broken doll. The cost is agonizing, but their resolve hardens into something cold and absolute. This is the brutal calculus of their new world. This is a lesson in paleontology written in blood. Tail, timing the swings of the beast's head, manages to land on its neck. He grips the course. Reptilian hide and drives his heavy spear down into the muscle and bone where the neck meets the skull. He stabs again and again, a grim piston of survival. His world narrowed to this single, violent act. A final, earth-minus shaking tremor runs through the colossal body. A gurgling sigh escapes its beak. And then, the monster is still. Silence descends upon the serpent's tooth. A profound quiet broken only by the drip of blood and the ragged, sobbing breaths of the survivors. They hang in the silence for a long time, clinging to their ropes, staring at the impossible thing they have done. The corpse of the Quetzalcoatlus, tangled in their net of bone and sinew, is a monument to a new kind of faith. A faith in the geometry of a well-minus laid trap, in the strength of a communal rope, in the sharp point of a stone spear, in the canyons of this alternate prehistoric world. This is the day a piece of human evolution was forced not by a changing climate or a new food source, but by an act of spectacular, coordinated blasphemy. They did not simply kill a predator, they murdered a god, and in its place, on the blood-minus-slicked altar of their own canyon wall, they gave birth to an idea that the most terrifying forces of nature are not spirits to be appeased, but problems to be solved. How many of our oldest stories, of heroes slaying dragons and men challenging titans, are but distant echoes of days like this? The day our human ancestors stopped looking at the monsters in their world with fear and began looking at them with a cold, calculating curiosity, measuring them for a net. This has been an alternate prehistory survival chronicle, where the echoes of ancient screams teach the language of courage. But courage against a single beast is one thing. Survival in a world designed to kill is another.